Hey guys, Evan Rourke here, back with another video, and today we're going to be doing a review on the Neca King Kong figure. So the first thing I have to say about this figure when it comes to the pros, I believe, is the detail. Now the detail on this guy is incredibly good. Now before I even start, let me just say I know I'm a little late to the party. This started becoming a thing for collectors in this community around October, and here I am 4 months later reviewing it. But that's because at the time I wasn't interested, and I do what I always do. I always forget about me being not interested in it and get it anyway at some holiday point in my life. But in this case, like I said, I got it for Christmas, and yes, we are in the phase of reviewing kaijus now because I think they're everything Star Wars related until I complete my Darth Vader model kit, which I haven't started yet because I've been pretty lazy on, but that's besides the point. Like I said, when it comes to detail on this guy, the detail is really nice. I feel like the reason why it's the best thing on this is easily, and I do mean easily, because of the fact that you could just look at this and see the specific detail. Like you can see lines here. The eyes are pretty, you know, the big booming eyes is what we all remember from this Kong from 1933. You could do some really cool poses with it thanks to how detailed it is with some of its pieces. You can see on the arms, it's a little bit hard in the dark, but there's some lines made on the arms and the palms. You can see some scratches made on the chest right there that are, you know, very specific. They're not repeated scratches. They're like its own little thing. You can see the kind of made out fur that, you know, of course you can't feel. It's not real, it's plastic, it's part of the plastic, but it does give it that feel that I must say. The standout, detailed fur really makes it seem that way. And you could really see the same here with the foot. You could see like the nails and the wrinkles and all that. You know, and more how it's more bushy around here. And I do mean this, I really do think that this is really well made when it comes to details. So I definitely think it's way above average. And let's get on to the next thing about this figure. So the next thing I like about this figure is, in my opinion, the articulation. Now the articulation on this guy, the reason why it wasn't the best thing out of all of them is because it's still a little bit stiff, so I can't say the articulation is the best. And look, I know I've been reviewing things that are supposed to be known for its articulation, and here I am saying it's the second or third best thing when it comes to the figure, and especially when I do these reviews. But that's because I guess I'm in the phase of seeing how they're still stiff, and I can't exactly say the articulation is good until I see it's more movable. But it is still pretty stiff in certain areas, like with the arm here. Like you can't really like move it around like crazy. I still have to play with it a little bit to make sure that it gets a little bit loose. You know, in terms of like playing with the arms and making them more, you know, twirling them a little bit more to making sure it's more adjustable. But the articulation on this is the second best thing, even though it still is above average, because I'll give it that. But it is only the second best thing because, like I said, it's still stiff, so I can't say it's the best thing about this. But yeah, let's move on to the next thing I like about this figure. So the last thing I like about this figure, and by the way, all three of these things, in which I think I know you guys are going to hear me say, are all above average. All of them are above average. The detail was way above average, articulation was fairly above average, and this is slightly above average. So there's nothing on this when it comes to the three main credits when it comes to giving off to a figure that are average. They're all above average. But of course it has its cons, but I'll get into that in a second. But as you might expect, the third thing I like about this is paint job, which, like I said, is still above average. So that's right. Articulation, detail, and paint job, something that barely happens in these reviews, are all above average when it comes to this figure. So to get more specific when it comes to the paint job on this, the reason why it's not the best thing or even the second best thing is because it's mainly 3 or 4 colors, and I don't see any scuffs on this, but the colors do stand out in some cases. Like, I like the red scratches, but that's kind of a small detail you can see. The mouth is not really a booming color, it's kind of a dark, grim red color. If it was more booming, I probably would like the color and paint job more. With the eyes, it's very well painted, and really a lot of the colors are just perfect on this. But the reason why I think it's not the second best thing or the best thing, as I already said, another thing to add is that it's probably because a lot of the colors used on this aren't booming. Yes, obviously brown and gray, which are of course the main colors on this, are never really booming colors, but they could have added more red with the scars that would have made the paint job stand out more. But look, for what it is, it's still above average, and I still love the paint job. So let's get into the cons about this figure. So I really only have 2 nitpicks when it comes to this figure, but I'm going to get with the biggest nitpick. It's still a nitpick, but I guess bigger than the other one. And that is, I feel like this figure is just slightly too tall for a NECA. I understand most NECAs are not 6 inches like Bandai, you know, because mostly Bandai follows the 6-inch rule, and there's nowhere where it says NECA has to make 6-inch figures like Bandai or any other key figure company, a kaiju figure company. But still, I still have to be honest. This is a little bit too tall, and I don't know. I kind of find it a little bit unsatisfying in a way. I mean, if I'm going to be honest with you, I might combine this nitpick with this nitpick and say that maybe what they should have done is hunched it over, because that would have been the second nitpick, that it's too skinny in certain areas and that Kong is really meant to be kind of bulky and chunky. But no, you guys know what I mean, like more, hulky, I guess you could say. Not really, a little bit too skinny for the arms and legs, and a little bit too tall. Kong's, especially because he's an ape, but Kong is supposed to be kind of hunched over, more strong and more built up. And I feel like they didn't really do that so well with this. So I'll combine the two nitpicks and make it a 0.5% off of it. But that being said, if they just figured that out, this would have been an almost perfect figure. But of course, no figure is really that perfect. So if you guys do the math, you probably would already know that I'm going to be rating this figure a 9.5 out of 10. It is a very good NECA, at least one of the most commonly known NECAs that just dropped out recently. Not too recently, but you get what I'm saying. And again, sorry for not reviewing this earlier. I wasn't interested when it released, but now I have it. I really hope you enjoy this review, and I do recommend getting it like I do with most NECAs, if maybe not all NECAs that I've reviewed. So, without a further ado, thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. See you guys later, and bye-bye.